It's Dr. Money coming to you from the prosperity corner of the universe where silliness is sacred and nobody's perfect. I am your POP, your professor of prosperity, and I'm here so that all of our lives can pop with prosperity. I don't know about you, but I've got many Facebook friends. I know well over 1,000, so certainly I can't keep up with them. But every once in a while I'll think about someone and I'll think, gee, I'll look up their Facebook page. I'm friends with them. And so I looked up an old friend and I found out that she had passed away. And that made me start thinking about how I had met her and the influence that she had in my life. I haven't seen her in many, many years. This was back in the early 90s that we were friends. And she came to my center and I put on a seminar. I represented her and got people to come to the seminar. And one thing she told me, she said, Ann, you need a PR book. She had this amazing PR book. She said, and you need to have some very powerful pictures in there. For example, you with famous people. She showed me one of her on the front page of the Sun newspaper in England, in London. And she looked through them, and so I thought about it, and I thought, well, I have no idea how I can do that. But I kept thinking, I need my picture on the front page of an international newspaper, and I just kind of put that down. But later that year, I went to a conference in the Philippines, and I joined another conference while I was there and did a presentation during a cultural event, and it was huge. There were thousands of people there. But at the very end, the performers, and I don't know, maybe there were 20 of us and we were from all around the world, and the president of the Philippines all stood up for a picture, and that picture was on the front page of every newspaper in the Philippines. And so there I had my picture and magazine, and a newspaper article for my little PR kit. And so her name was Diana Glazes. She was quite the presence on this planet and made a big difference. And I just wanted to tell you this story about the law of attraction because I was thinking about my friend Diana. And so I didn't sit around just visualizing that all the time. I just went, I'm going to be on the front page of a magazine or a newsletter, or I want to be on the front page of a newspaper. And I didn't really, it was just sort of in the back of my mind. So it was another thing that was in the back of my mind was that I wanted to be famous. And because of that particular time, I did this presentation. It was a solo presentation. And for some reason, the people there, the way they treat you is a little different than they do in the United States. And everywhere I went, people recognized me. And I had red, long, curly hair at the time, and I guess I stood out from everybody in the Philippines who has more of a darker complexion. Everybody has black hair, and they're all very short. So everybody was coming up. I was giving like dozens of autographs, and pretty soon people were inviting me for tea. They were inviting me to go to their homes, their businesses, and all this. And it's like, well, I'm not really a nobody. But I did have the feeling of what it was like to be famous. And I thought, you know what? I don't think this is for me. Because when you go out in the street and everybody recognizes you and everybody calls you and everybody wants an autograph and everybody follows you around, it was a little bit overwhelming. But I did have that experience of what it was like to be famous. And I was very grateful for that. And all of that came about, of course, because of the law of attraction. Not because I focused on it that much, but I think that the intention that I had and the desire that I had was pretty clean and clear. It didn't hurt anyone, and it was vivid in my imagination. Great story, I think, and I like to remind myself of that time in my life. So let's take a deep breath in, and as we breathe in our good. And as we exhale our intention that all other beings receive their good as well. And remember, our burdens are lifted, our cares are few, our joy is unlimited, and I love you.